still the only 1 million cups in Kentucky, and we still are, as far as I know, the only small market 1 million cups in the country. I think they exceed 60 locations now. They're all like in Nashville, but not even Paducah, but in Nashville, Indianapolis, Kansas City type venue. So we've been real fortunate after being here a whole year to be able to keep this going, and it's been a lot of excitement. At least for me, I know I've learned something every single week. Now, if you have not been before, welcome to your first meeting, 1 Million Cups. If you have been before and you know someone that would love to present and think it'd be a great business for us to hear from, please let us know or contact them and then get in touch with us. We'd like for them to come see the program or watch a video first, but we would love to have them come present. The focus of the program is educational. And if you have not signed in because you're used to just scooting in here and you're like, oh, they know I'm here, sign on the way out, because we're going to keep track of everybody's emails too as well. So that's our housekeeping tips. I am very, very pleased. There's Carol. There she is. You eat pen. Anybody eat pen, by the way? I feel like I'm in my hand here. I'm very, very pleased to introduce to you a young lady who has purchased and now has ownership of the gift horse. She's here to tell us all about what she's doing with that program and how that business is changing as they change the market somewhat. And it's going to be really exciting to hear her vision of what's going on with the gift horse. So, Kelley, Chandler, come on up.
Thank you, guys. Like she said, I'm Kelley Chandler. My husband, GR, and I, along with Aaron and Clint Sharper, took over the gift horse in January of 2014, so it's been about a year and a half now. And a little bit of backstory. Clint and GR, my husband, have been friends since they were wee boys. And Aaron and I grew up together in high school, in middle school and high school, and have been friends ever since GR and I started dating in 2011. And have become very, very good friends. We have a very tight-knit friend group, now we call it family. We're raising kids together now, and it's been really, really neat to have a good couple-based friendship. Where you and your husband both get along with all of your other couple friends. And so, as we were dating, of course I shopped at the gift horse, as most of you all do, and I went into the gift horse in August of 2013, and just shopping for gifts, like I said, like I always do, and Paula approached me and she said, hey, you need to hurry up and get engaged before we close the store. And I said, what do you mean you're closing the store? She was like, we decided that we're going to retire. The business has been open for 15 years now, and they have grandbabies that are out of town, and they wanted to travel and go and do as they please and go visit their grandchildren, which is completely understandable. Well, of course, the first thing I thought about was, well, yeah, I do need to get engaged, but I would like all of my gifts to come from the gift horse because it's a wonderful gift store. Well-established business. But the first thing on my mind was not to purchase the gift store by any means. Several months went down the road, and November came, December came. GR and I mentioned, well, actually, before I say that, GR proposed to me on September 3rd of that year, just a month after talking to Paula, and on his birthday, actually. And so, of course, I started thinking, okay, I do get to register at the gift horse now that they're still open, and so I want to hurry up and go do that. So, GR and I talked casually about it being a very great opportunity. I had worked in Murray at the gift store called the Vintage Rose for 2.5 years while I was living there and going to school, and absolutely loved it. I loved the retail side of it. I loved fluffing up all of the cutesy things that they had in there, and I love working with customers. I still love working with customers. And you'll hear me say that several times. I don't want to be back in the back of my computer all day. I want to be out talking and so forth. So anyway, GR felt the passion that I had for the gift horse even after moving home and being here in Madisonville. I always mentioned, well, we had that Vintage Rose, or we had expensive gift horse, but it's a Vintage Rose. We had this, or I really enjoy working with the owner and learning the different aspects of the business. And so he really felt my passion, I believe, from from working there in droves. And so, like I said, we just kind of mentioned it casually. And in middle of January, we went to dinner, as we typically do on Thursday nights with Clint and Aaron. And they sat down and they said, Kelley and GR, this is what we want to do. We want to buy the gift horse. This is how it's going to be run. Kelley, we want you to run everything. And just kind of caught me off guard. And we mentioned it casually, but never like in serious conversation. So I sat back in my seat and was like, okay, do we really want to do this? This is a big undertaking. I'm getting married in May, and it's January, and I don't know if I can take this stress right now. So I prayed about it, and I thought about it just for a few hours, and thought, you know what, if this is what God's plan for me is, then everything's going to work out. And if my friends have this much faith in Him, then I'm going to rely on that and say, hey, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this as a team. And so anyway, that's how it came about. 2 weeks later, we were signing papers, and we closed within the Thursday night having dinner with them. Exactly 2 weeks later, we were signing papers on a business. So God has a plan for everything. So anyway, when I came home, I worked at the bank for 4 years and absolutely loved it. So it was very hard to say goodbye to my bank family. A lot of them are here today. And so I stuck around for about 2 weeks, not very long, and walked into our new business where Martha and Paula had, they took me in with open arms. And this well-established business was now mine, and it was very, very overwhelming. I didn't know anything about owning a business, hadn't taken any business classes, so I had a lot to learn. I knew a lot of the retail lines. I knew a lot about, a little bit about social marketing. Now I realize I didn't hardly know anything. But I did know that I loved customers, and I felt like I was good working with customers and making people feel like they could just come on in and have fun shopping. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make people happier when they left our store than when they came in. I wanted to help them find a gift that would make their friends happy, or even during tough times make friends feel comforted and loved. And so anyway, like I said, in January, it was January 26th, 2014, we took over the store. Martha and Paula were absolutely wonderful. I can't talk enough about how they opened up their arms and took me in and taught me everything that they could within just a couple months. Martha moved to Florida, built a house. She moved in February, so she was with me for about a month. But Paula to this day, and Martha to this day too, I can just call up and text and say, hey, call up or text and say, hey, I have a question about something. They've just been absolutely phenomenal. When I go on vacations, Paula's right there. Hey, you want me to cover the store for a week? So it's really great. Along with that, a lot of you know Kathy and Leslie, and then Debbie Parks also was with us in the beginning. She left in December of last year. But those two girls have stayed on, and they have been with Martha and Paula for 7 and 10 years. And so they have also been a huge help to me. Like I said, learning the lines and knowing customers that don't come in regularly enough to know their faces. They're familiar with those customers and know exactly who needs what and if they're looking for something specific. And even if it was something that we don't carry now, they know what they carried in the past so that they can kind of direct me in the right direction. So that's a little bit of a backstory on that. As far as change goes, that was one thing that I really worried about when we took over the store was how is everyone going to take the fact that these ladies have owned this business for 15 years and this young girl thinks she knows what she's doing behind the gift horse. How am I going to be perceived? What can I do to make these customers that have been coming to the gift horse for 15 years happy and continue to keep them happy and continue to have them come shop at the store? And I have received a lot of positive feedback and a lot from you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. A few things that we have changed are bringing in some new lines. I've slowly but surely started transitioning and getting rid of a few lines that maybe haven't been flying out the door recently, and that's been really hard for me. I don't want to get rid of anything that anybody wants. But I can't keep buying lines and bringing new inventory in without getting rid of anything. Y'all know our store. It's not the largest in scale. It's just a little house. If you haven't been to see us, please come by. But it's an older home, and it's real broke up into different rooms. And so in order to, like I said, in order to grow, I have to weed things out. And so that has been a challenge for me lately, but I am slowly working on that. A lot of the lines that we carry, I've brought a few things here just so you kind of have an idea. Cotton Colors is a really fun line that we carry. It includes the Happy Everything line. And they come with interchangeable pieces, which is really cool. So when you first walk into our store, one of the main rooms, there's this big display with a bunch of attachments, and that's what we call attachments. They're really fun. It's great for our brides. We do a lot of baby quilts, and we also do a lot of custom orders. We order custom jewelry, which a lot of people are not aware, like monogram grain jewelry and custom china. And we also do a lot of personalization in store. We do vinyl and embroidery, which vinyl is like the stuff that you see on like decals or on a car, or it's a really strong sticker, pretty much like kind of like a cricket. Most of y'all know what a cricket is. And so we can put vinyl on just about anything. We put vinyl on this turbis, and it's really good, high quality. You can still put it in the top rack of your dishwasher, and it's going to hold up for a while. And we also do embroidery. Erin is a full-time teacher. She teaches 5th grade at Jesse Stewart. And so in the afternoons, she is in charge of our embroidery. We have, she's taken that on as her full-time obligation for the gift tours, which helps me a lot. I'm in charge of all of the everyday oversight of the store, staffing, ordering, anything really you can think of outside of the embroidery. My husband is the does our bookkeeping. He's a CPA, so that works out perfect for me. And then Clint is our handyman. Anything we need done, he can either do it or he can find somebody else to do it, which has been wonderful. But Erin, like I said, our embroidery is a full-time job. And it's very popular right now. Anything monogram is very popular right now. So anything that we can do in-house and have it embroidered, people want. We did decide once we bought the store, we were no longer going to take outside jobs to be embroidered. So only because we stay busy with our in-house jobs, such as quilts and the rain jackets is something I picked up in April. What else? Goodness, we do bunny's ears and bears, and you'll see some pictures here in a little bit of different items that we carry in our store. In reference to the baby quilts, we have baby registry, baby and bridal registry both. We keep that open year-round. Typically, we have about 10 moms come in and are on our baby registry, throughout the year at one time. And like I said, that's something that we keep on year-round. So if they want to come back after baby spring and get something off the registry, they can do so. And the same with our brides. We typically have about 30 to 35 brides at one time. And I had no idea how many brides there were in Hopkins County. I mean, it's a constant job. One thing that I also learned was that bridal season has now changed from June month to October. We have more fall brides now than I think there ever has been. And Kathy, that's another thing about the girls. They are able to tell me, hey, this is what's changed over the 10 years span that they've been at the store. And that's it's been really great. I really love working with the brides. They're so fun. I mean, you get the little girls that are 21 and have no idea what's going on and register for 2 place settings. And then you have others that may be 21 that still know exactly what they want and exactly how many place settings they want. Every color and everything's picked out the day they get engaged, which is great. And I love the versatility of it all. It's wonderful. We do, another thing we offer for our brides and our babies registries is just a small gift. Just a token of a thank you for coming and registering with us. And I think you'd be surprised how many people want to shop local still and do come to the store. We allow them to come in or even call and say, hey, I need to spend $35 on a baby gift. I need it by Saturday. It may be Friday, and I need it by Saturday. With a card enclosed, wrapped, and all I want to do is come and pay for it and pick it up. And we offer that for them. And that's one thing that I really, really want to stay true to is being able to take care of our customers the way that they deserve to be treated, because we are blessed that you shop with us. We truly are thankful. I said I wasn't going to cry today. But we also do the same thing for everyday gifts. We do a lot of bereavement gifts, and chimes are our #1 gift as far as that goes. We sell wind chimes, and you'll see some pictures of those. And there are several people in town that carry those, but they still ring true. I didn't mean to do that, but they do. For just a good keepsake, something that you can hold on to, and flowers are going to wilt, but a wind chime is always going to be there outside your window. You just need a little pick-me-up. And so we typically wrap those, if you're taking them to the funeral home, in an open box with a ribbon, tie the card, hold for whoever you need help for. And then we also deliver. We have recently decided to set a small fee for our delivery, because we have been delivering to Nortonville and Hanson, and that takes time, and it also takes gas, time out of my day or time out of the girls' day to drive and do that. That's something that we want to continue to do, but we will be starting to do that for a small fee. And it just makes it easier, especially if somebody's out of town on vacation and someone near to them passes away. It just makes it easier to still be able to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. So let's see here. What else do I have? I had to make notes. A lot of you may be thinking, where do you buy all of your inventory? In 2 weeks from yesterday, we'll be heading to Atlanta to go to market. It's a very stressful but fun time. Missionary knows. This is the first market that Aaron and I have been to by ourselves without Martha and Paula. Martha and Paula, when we bought the business, said that they would go to the first 2 markets with us. So we went in March, and then we also went in July. This last January, Aaron was expecting a baby. It's now 4 months old. Her name's Scarlett. She's so precious. But my sister Laura went with me. So this time, in 2 weeks, Aaron and I are going by ourselves. And if you've ever heard about market, it is a blast. It is a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. We plan months in ahead with spreadsheets and breakdowns of exactly which floors we're going to, how much time we're going to spend in each showroom. There are 3 buildings, 15 to 18 floors apiece, and it's just showroom on showroom on showroom. It's very, very overwhelming. You cannot go to market without a plan. You have to have some kind of structure. I try to be organized, and this definitely puts me in my place as far as organization goes. But it is a lot of fun. At market, we meet with a lot of our reps, and we tend to spend about 1.5 to 2 hours speaking or running through their showrooms and finding new items. And that's mainly what we do when we go to market, is to go find what's new, what the new trends are, what's hot now, what's coming, up and coming in the next year. Of course, we all know Madisonville's a little slow on getting all the new trendy things, and I have found that true more so than ever now that I go to market. I have to be really careful in getting the hot trendy items, because when they get here, they may not be hot yet, and so people are like, well, what in the world is that Aztec necklace doing? That is just for 6 or 7 or 8 months down the road. I'm like, that is so cute. That is the hottest thing. So you have to be really, really careful in picking out, any inventory at all. So anyway, it is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy meeting with my reps and spending time with them. We have great relationships with the majority of those people, and they call on me and come see me in the store, once a quarter, once every 6 months, which is really nice. We have a great relationship. I can call them with claims or questions, or hey, what does so-and-so have that I need, and so forth. So be keeping an eye out for hot new things. We are on Instagram and Facebook lately to get better at that, because that's not my forte. But that's the new and upcoming thing. You just have to stay on it. I have noticed that email is probably our best outreach as far as our customers go, and that's something that Mark and Paula had in place. They have a large customer base on their email list, and that, as soon as I post an email, I have somebody walking through the door, which is really, really nice to know that people are still using email, and even if there's, we've decided to close a store last minute, I can post something. But y'all be looking for different market posts, and so you can maybe find some of our top new things that are coming in the next few weeks. And then one other thing that we have annually that Martha and Paula implemented and we have continued to do is our sidewalk sale. And we will be having that next month, July 24th and 25th. It's Friday and Saturday. And what it allows us to do is to kind of open up space in the store for all of my new product that's going to be coming in from market. And also just get a little, little cash flow and customer base interaction. So we really look forward to it. It's really, really hot. We end up pitching a tent out in the parking lot and dragging a ton of stuff out in the parking lot for the sale. But it is, and it also offers discounts to all of our customers, which we want to do. Anyway, I do want to thank you all so much for having me. I'm not a public speaker by any means, and I feel very comfortable with this group, and I appreciate it. And I do appreciate everyone shopping local. Once I moved home, I really, really felt like I needed to just kind of get out in the community more. And then after working at the bank, they were wonderful about saying, hey, get your face out there. We want everyone to shop local, and I just think it's very important for our community and for all of us as individuals. And lastly, I want to say that, I was going to say just last time. Of course. The last thing. I don't know. We can open the floor for question and answers. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
I have a comment.
Okay.
One, I think GR was very smart to go into this business with you and
Thank you.
to become engaged on his birthday, so he will always remember that date.
Right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, when your inventory,
Yes.
and with a small place, got to keep it turning. Do you track it as far as by item, how many turns a year you get on it? And of course, obviously, if you've got an item that's got a lot more profit in it, you can hold it longer.
Sure.
But it's still taking up space.
Sure.
But do you track that very carefully, or is it just kind of more like what you think you like?
No, we do. That's the first year was a learning process for us, and now that we've gotten past that, which is only 6 months down the road, we have started paying attention to that more. It really was more of a kind of a touch and feel and see how it's going to work for us the first year and see how everybody's going to perceive it all. But we definitely have started looking at numbers much more closely in the last 6 months.
Get that turn.
Most definitely. And that's one reason that Paula and Martha implemented this sidewalk sale.
Yeah.
It allows, like I said, it allows us to kind of open up more space for hot new things.
Because if an item is sitting there for a year and you haven't sold it, get it out, get something out of it.
Exactly.
Even if it's below cost.
Most
Get something out of it,
definitely.
free up your
That's
space and don't buy it again.
That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you.
Well, I have a comment for one thing and a question. I think it's wonderful that you have an accountant in the business.
Me too.
Because
I could not do it without him.
Because as you said, I mean, I've been just like you, I went in without any real business experience of keeping books
Sure.
and all that kind of stuff and everything. But having said that, as the manager of the store, is GR teaching you
Most definitely.
about all of that and everything?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we had a discussion last night in the car going to dinner, because we already do most of our talks. And I told him, I said, we've been talking about a few different reports and stuff, and I said, I really do. I want to make time now that I feel a little bit more comfortable. We've got our feet set in the ground. We know everybody has their role now, and I do want to learn more about that side of it. I'm glad that I have him to take care of it as a whole, but I do want to learn more about it.
Because it really does make you feel much better when you yourself can sit down and look at those statements and say, oh yeah, we really are making money or we're not.
Most definitely.
And versus somebody telling you.
Sure.
But then the other thing is, I mean, your store is small and you guys have got a great business going there. What are your plans for future or any plans for expansion or anything like that?
We've had a lot from our customers. I think just because we're new and they thought, hey, they're gonna completely strip the store out, paint it, or even move and have a completely different location and style. We did take over the building, and so we would like to eventually move to a larger location. It's several years down the road, but that's definitely in our thoughts and dreams.
Yeah.
And another thing is our parking, which, parking downtown isn't any better, but we don't have any room for expansion where we are. So hopefully if we decide to
And
plan on growing, then that's
part of the charm of the business is the small house,
Sure.
the smallness of it.
That's exactly
But I
right.
know gracious me in Hopkinsville, I mean, and I'm sure you've been there
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
And personally, I think that Madisonville could support something very much like that because we don't have a lot of places to shop, as I'm well aware, and you are well aware, so. But anyway, I think you're doing a great job, and I
Thank you so much.
your house in the business.
Thank you. Yes.
What was that biggest, there's a lot of shocking on, oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, that's cool, I didn't know it'd be this easy. And then there were days when you're like, I don't know where I have enough time to breathe, let alone do anything else because you're a business owner in essence. What was your biggest moment where you said, oh, I just learned something, it's gonna be easier now for a few minutes until the next thing? Tell us some of those things that you've done there because.
Come on, you cry again. The last month has been really hard for me. I don't know why, all of a sudden, but just this last week, I have kind of been focused more. And I think it has a lot to do with coming here and listening to you guys and the things that you struggle with and saying, hey, you know what, it's okay for me to think, I may not make it through the day, but tomorrow we'll be here and I will be perfectly fine. I have been one that, I played softball in college and I've always kind of worked out and I tried to stay in the best shape physically as I could and mentally and spiritually, and when the store came along, it just wiped out all of that. And I really, in the last couple months, have really struggled with that. Started working out again last week and I feel like physically and mentally I'm kind of getting back into where I need to be, and spiritually as well. And so I think that has a lot to do with it as far as my overall look on the business in my day and staffing and everything goes. One of my biggest struggles too was telling people what to do. I mean, I don't think I'm a good boss. So, having, I don't know, I guess just having to deal with the overall saying, hey, delegating, hey, this is what I want you to do. I can't do it all anymore, and I know that. So just saying, hey, here, take care of this, take care of this, and I'm gonna sit back and work on this because this is what I have to do today. Instead of my list just growing and growing and growing every day on top of, Sorry,
I have a support group of other business owners that I meet with twice a year. I mean, it's almost like a retreat twice a year. And I know you have GR and you've got your partner and everything, but have you ever thought about joining up? Because this is a great area here, and you see a lot of people, but you don't really probably talk with them an awful lot about business. And we all have the same concerns. And I mean, if you had like a support group of, say, 8 or 10 people that were in business, so that, because even though you don't handle a lot of the accounting, as you said, and everything, but there are so many other things about a business and that you can learn from.
yeah.
What would you think about a support
I
group
think
like that?
I think that would be absolutely wonderful. I really do. And that's like I said, all of this stuff is really just. I went to a Cotton Colors convention in distance. Jer and I had our first anniversary thing, and it ended up being the Cotton Color Convention was right across the street from where we were staying on the day we were planning on leaving. So GR flew back on Sunday, and I stayed for a few days for this convention. And it was really, really nice to see all of these business owners coming together for this Cotton Color Convention, which ended up just being more of a marketing and networking convention, which was really, really nice. I ended up reaching out to the Tin Roof in Princeton and met Molly and a couple of our girls. And I also met the ladies at Gracious Me. And it was really, really nice to see, even though we're 30 and 40 minutes away, the similarities and struggles that we have. We all share the same thing, so that was nice. And I think that's one thing that's really opened my eyes. And that was, like I said, in May. So it's really kind of got my brain going. So I think that would be a wonderful thing.
As a friend of Sharon's, who's actually been to one of her meetings with the Golden Girls, I think that's one of the most amazing things that she's done as a business owner. I think it's one of the reasons why she's able to do things very well, because when I don't know if you've had the same problem with family and friends, but I have friends that I go hang out with and I go ride horses with and I go do things with, and I talk about my business and what I do. And when they look at you, they're like, what is it that you do again, Marion? Well, now, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not appropriate generally in any conversation to say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have problems with. What do y'all think? You just have like dinner just to talk about your businesses and stuff. You can have meetings like this where you do presentations and you kind of learn, but there is no group like hers. They get together and they just talk about, hey, what are they going to implement next year? What are they thinking about? What was the worst thing that they did, the best thing that they did, ideas, how they can cut costs by consolidating, by thinking together as a group.
That's great idea.
I mean, that's a fantastic program that she's part of. So, I mean, I wish we could start something like that here.
Sharon, you, the group you're talking about, are these local businesses? No, because my thought came up that it's nice to have conversation relationships with similar businesses. However, I notice with myself, if I'm talking to somebody locally about my business, the conversation is totally different than if they are out of my area. You let me talk to somebody from, somebody that is not a competitor and won't or can't be a competitor. Now then we can, if the conversation changes. Sure. Because I can remember we used to rent ice machines. Had a bunch of them. It was a good business at that time. And I was in a conversation with a local fellow that was a competitor. He asked me about it. Oh man, it's great, Well, next thing you know, he's renting ice machines. So
there's a fine line I've found too between.
Yeah. So your conversation changes based on who you're talking to. And it's nice to have somebody that's over across, the next county over, or somebody that you're not competing with. Now that we can have a heart-to-heart, and we can both learn something that won't hurt each other.
Well, I think there has to be a lot of trust in that type of organization of people, but still, even before I joined up with that group, when I first went into business, there were like 6 of us that were in business, and we were all new in business, and we were all from different businesses. And we talked about the issues though that we all face, not particularly about what kind of product you're selling, but, what is your business strategy? What kind of advertising are you doing, and how is that working for you, and that type of thing. Because it's just good to have somebody else to kind of bounce the idea off of and say, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, this is what works for us, and I think that is great.
Other questions?
Yeah.
I've got one, Kelley.
What's your question?
Timing is everything.
Smooth, Mark.
Thank you. You talked about buying local, and obviously you appreciate the people who take that to heart. In terms of your sourcing, obviously with the kind of business you're in, you have to go to market and check out what's new, etc. Are you able to buy local for some of your inventory?
Yes, that's one thing I left out today. That is one thing I wanted to do when we took over, was to try and kind of reach out to a few people. my sister Laura and my sister Maggie's here today too, but they're both expecting. And the beginning of the year, Laura came to me and said, "Hey, have you heard about the Laskowskis, this pretty and polka dot business that they have on Etsy?" And I said, "No, I haven't heard anything about it." Well, they're these age blocks, and I think that I have them featured on here somewhere. But they are made here in Madisonville.
I'm doing it. I have a picture. Oh.
I was like, that is going that way.
I'm trying to find the age block.
They have a wonderful business that they have right here it's in Nebo, but right here in Hopkins County, which is wonderful. So I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I think it would be wonderful if we carried your line. If you want to send people to me, I'll send people to you." And so it's really worked out. If they don't have something in stock at their house or in their warehouse, they send them to me, and I can call them and say, "Hey, I need some H blocks," and they'll have them to me tomorrow. No shipping, nothing. We do buy a lot of Kentucky items, food items, cutting boards we get from two firefighters in Lexington that do a fabulous job. So I have tried
Good.
to keep several of those things in stock. Yes, ma'am.
I have noticed that, there's, in the last, that I've had my business here a little bit over a year, a lot of cool shops have flourished and been growing, and it seems like, it's a lot of, I don't want to say young people, but young thinking people with some good ideas, but it seems like you guys are kind of working together not to overlap each other. As it kind of goes off of what everybody else was saying, but I like that thought because there's, like with my business, I always say there's plenty of backs, there's plenty of, there's plenty of people, and I encounter people every day, because when I have people come in my place and I ask about what they're doing next, where are you going, and I'll, want you to go to this restaurant, want you to go to this place, want you to go to that place, and I think it's great. I mean, you guys are doing a really great business, but there's still a lot of people who don't even know where you are.
You're exactly right.
And I'm like, woo, that is so
15
cool.
years, it's
Everybody,
amazing how many people
and
don't
that's
know
great.
what
That means that there's so much more out there
It
for you
really
to
is. It really is.
expand
And
to.
unlike you, I mean, if I don't have something, I'll send them to the Mark, or I'll send them to Blue, wherever. I don't just mention any names or anything, but I will. I mean, we want to make sure you're looking for something that you're going to find it and you're going to be happy with it. And we want you to shop here. There's no reason to be in competition with anyone here.
Kelley, I just want to comment. I always do business with Paula, and I can call Paula and say, "Paula, I need a wedding gift, and I want to spend about $50. And so when you came in, I thought, well, great, she's not going to know that, she's not going to do that. But you all have done that. A lot of us get up 45 minutes to an hour for lunch, we run out there, and you're busy at those times. So it's great for us ladies or anyone to be able to call you all and do that, and I appreciate you all doing this service.
We enjoy it just as much as you do. We really do. We want to make it as easy, one-stop shop as possible.
I love to come in and shop, but sometimes
You just don't have time. I know, because I was one of those, when I was working at the bank, I called and said, "Hey, can you fax me over this registry list so I can run in there real quick and grab
But I know a lot of people who do that, and they appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
I think that service element is key. I can recall, 100 years or so ago when I was in high school in Connecticut, the summertime and some after school, I worked my way up in this grocery store that actually had started on Manhattan. And they were extremely high-end, extremely service-oriented, and all the people in the area would be able to just call up and say, "Here's our order," and then it would get delivered. I ended up being over all the part-time help, etc. That service orientation really set Christie Brothers apart from anything else that was in the region. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Piggly Wiggly.
No, exactly. My point is, Madisonville is not Connecticut, but people here like good service too. And so, just a comment there. One other quick one. I wonder what your average age of customer is, because when you talk about social media is really not your thing. You're young, I assume social media would be more your thing. I wonder, depending upon what your average age of customer is, whether your thing of, we're a little behind the trends. if you use social media to put something out there and say, hottest trend in Miami or New York, I wonder if that wouldn't help you bring in some of those things when they're still trending elsewhere.
We actually, Kathy just came to me about a month ago and said, Kelley, I've seen more new customers in here than I have in a really long time, and a lot of those are younger people. So it makes me feel really good that maybe I am doing something right. I'm not the techie person. Like I said, I've been trying to stay on top of the new Instagram and all the social media, as well as take care of our existing customers. But I definitely want new, younger faces in there too. So I have brought in a few things that I think appeal to the younger crowd too. So that's a goal.
One of my questions always is at a retail location is have you ever thought about expanding your hours? Because hours are very constricted to people that do work. It's hard for them to get there between the hours that you are open.
Sure.
The Saturdays and on the weekdays even. Is that something you consider or thought about or?
It was one of the first things that we thought about. Of course, I'm 31 and eventually want a family, and Aaron Clint just had a baby, and so we have talked about it, maybe making our hours from 10 to 6 or even expanding outside of that, just so that when people get off at 5 o'clock, they do have time. Because there are a lot of people that have the exact same hours that we do that can't come by. A lot of people also still think that we're open at 10 o'clock. So some mornings I'm completely dead. I'm there by myself from 9 to 10 in the mornings, and it's kind of my quiet time if it's a rainy day. But other mornings I get there, and as soon as I unlock the door, I have 5 people rushing in. So it's definitely something that we thought about. And during holidays, we do extend our hours for the month of December. But yes, it's something that's always in the back of my mind. I think future too. I'm not going to be hauling kids, and do I want to stay at work? I already stay late enough. Do I want to stay at work another extra hour later? So.
Well, you can offset that by doing online shopping too. It's the other thing that a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
I was watching Shark Tank last night. That's what they made.
That's our new show.
I
Yeah,
love that
it
show.
too.
You learn so many things from that.
You do.
That show and what it says constantly. You get hooked into that component.
That is a whole nother spectrum that we really we're considering. Hopefully within the next year, that we will have to have a whole nother building, more staffing.
I'm like, baby, do that too.
Learn shopping.
This is more of a kind of a comment to what she said, but I had when I first started my business, I had a mentor who told me, set your intention. Always set your intention for what you want your business to be, because it's your business, and be careful not to jump out and, oh my gosh, they want me to stay open later, so I gotta stay open later, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And the people that can come when you're open, and the people that, can fit into your parameters are your customers. Now, granted, if you're only open, 1 hour a week, that's not gonna work, but that, and I have done that and said, no, I don't wanna work really late hours, so that's, that's how I'm gonna do it, and it's worked. I know those are my customers, and you have to let those other people go if they can't, and that's hard.
Thanks for that, girl. I
You want-
appreciate that.
You want
That is true. It's
you want
very true.
everybody.
I want to make
I mean,
everybody
like you did with
happy.
Sharon, and I'm like,
Yeah.
with her, I will, one time I saw her on a Sunday, and I was going out of town, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of eyeliner, and I can't, and I didn't want to have to go to the grocery store and buy it, and she's like, meet me over at the shop, we'll take care of it. And last night I stayed late for somebody that called and said, I threw my back out, I need you right now, and I'm like, he's a good client, and I'm gonna do that for them, but I'm not gonna, jump through hoops all the time but once you establish relationships, I think that's the local, shop local kind of thing, but yeah.
And we do, we have people calling at 5 till 5 saying, hey, I'm coming in from Haynes and New Care, and I said, I'm gonna be here,
Yeah.
just knock on the door, and I'll let you know how to work, so.
I just like the fact that you can still come in and I shop a lot. And I cannot stand to shop online. I actually hate it. However, that's where you get most inventory. Stores are keeping less and less and less on their shelves. And I'm a person that likes to come in. I want to touch, I want to feel, I want to know if that gift is worth what I'm paying. I have to, I don't go buy a gift just to buy something. I buy it because if I wouldn't want it, then I'm not going to give it to somebody else. 11 years ago I moved here, and the very think it was the very first store that my mother-in-law took me to, was the gift horse. And I have a 10-year-old daughter, and if we need to go pick out a gift, she always says, Mom, let's go to the gift horse and pick out a gift. So I think that even if you do expand into the online, trend, because I mean, it's going there and it's going to last for a very long time. Just remember, the larger you become, the smaller you have to remain. And that's a tough thing. And I think your service has been amazing. Even since you've had it, it's been very consistent, and I think that's what will keep you long term, is your service.
Another thing too, I think that people look for here when they're looking for a gift, if they are truly interested in buying a gift for someone, is a quality product. And when people want to buy quality, then the price doesn't become an issue. And I think that's one of the things that people in this town fight all the time, is people shopping according to price.
Yes.
And then it makes us look and think, well, do I need to bring in something less expensive? But then they want the quality, and so you fight that all the time to retail.
Most definitely.
And I think that once you, as Carol said, you set your tone of your store, and then people know what to expect when they come in. And that doesn't mean that you can't have all price points, so that you can reach different price points of people. But if they're looking for something and they are intent on buying it, I think that if you set the tone of your store, then they're gonna know what they're gonna be looking at when they come in. And I think the gift horse has done a great job of that all these years.
Thank you.
And,
They have, and it's such a, well-rounded, established business, and we just wanted to take care of it. It's Martha and Paula's baby, or was Martha and Paula's baby. It's fine now, but we really did want to do it justice and make it the best it can be. And I mean, I've always been a bargain shopper. So, but like you said, I want a good quality product too, something that's going to last me for a long time. And so there is a struggle there, but our customers are the ones that, our loyal customers are the ones that look for that.
Other questions?
Thank
Anything
you
else,
so
Kelley?
much. I don't think so. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it very much. It's great to hear about businesses here in the area and the entrepreneurial journey and lessons learned. A few teasers. Not sure that we have anybody ready to announce quite yet for next week. We're working on several, unless somebody else
I
knows.
think Kevin's got one.
Kevin Cotton has one? Okay.
Just keep it secret.
In any event, we will have an exciting speaker, and we'll be getting the word out on that. July 8th, I've mentioned this before, Pete Bitar from Anderson, Indiana, the founder and CEO of Extreme Alternative Defense Systems, will be here presenting live. And very high-tech company, contracts with all branches of the military, law enforcement agencies, and he has developed and markets non-lethal defense systems. And so really interesting. And some ones that we're working on, and these aren't announcements that are coming yet, but hopefully we'll be rounding them up. Jason Munoz, Commonwealth, owner of Commonwealth Kitchen and Bar, Con Pie, and City Taco. One of them in Henderson, two of them in Evansville. All really good restaurants, all very different kinds of restaurants. Young guy and really energetic, and he speaks to entrepreneurs anyway up in the Evansville area. Said he was really interested in coming here, so it's a matter of getting together on dates. I've reached out to Billy Harper of Harper Industries, who remembered years ago made a run for governor. And know Billy, and hopefully we'll get him here, if not in person, then via Skype. And Kurt Jones, the CEO, or at least COO at this point, of Dippin' Dots. And he's got an interesting story to tell. Ray and I knew him when we were struggling getting our business going, and he and his wife were getting their business going back in the early 90s. lived in the same apartment building. And that company actually had to get bankruptcy protection a few years ago, but they found a white knight, and now Kurt's back in charge again. So, interesting, circuitous, challenging route. Hopefully you'll be able to come via Skype or in person and share some of that journey with us. So, as you think of others, let us know, bring a friend, and Carol.
Kevin and I are working on Tumco. It's just a matter of
Excellent.
when their timing is.
Sure, sure. That's great. That's great. Keep in mind, think outside the area. I mentioned several that are outside our immediate area. And when we can get them here in person, that's great. If not, for those of you who saw the one Skype presentation that we've done, it was awesome. It was almost as good as having them stand right here, because we could totally interact, ask questions, get the answers. So, all right. Thanks for being here. Okay. Yes, Sharon?
Would you indulge me for about 3 minutes?
Do it. It's good.
Sure.
I'm gonna come see you anyway. In fact, I'm probably gonna be seeing everybody in this room. But this is a project that I have going. It's going to happen on August the 3rd. And it is a Salute to Education breakfast. And I am looking for, well, right now I have 70 tables still available for people to sign up to support the table. But we're going to put on a breakfast for the entire Hopkins County school system, the employees of that school system. As businesses, we are all beneficiaries of the teachers, of the employees of the system, but we're also beneficiaries of what they do in the employees that we hire because they come from our school system. This is a program that's been very successful in Tree County over the past few years. My daughter is in charge of it basically there. And so anyway, if we haven't been to see you, Peggy Steersman and I are working on this together. We do have a couple of other people that are kind of working in the background for us. The economic development's handling our money for us, so we don't have to handle the money. But anyway, but if we haven't seen you yet and you are interested, please stop and see me this morning if you have time. And if you don't, well then I would love to know that I could come and see you about it. But the cost of it is minimal. It's maybe $100 at the max if you choose to do this. And I said, from a business standpoint, where else are you going to be in front of 1,200 people that have jobs and money to spend, and you're going to be able to tell them about you and your business while also telling them how much you appreciate what they do for our community. So anyway, just to let you know, and I'll be happy for you to stop by and see me.
Is this a secret from the educators?
Well, we would like for it to be a little bit of a surprise to them, Barbara, but we are having to meet and talk with so many people, and so many of the businesses that we're talking to, their families are educators.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to keep it a secret, but this look that they're going to see when they're going to come in there is going to take their breath away. It really is. And we've got some corporate sponsors that are working with us to pay for the breakfast. The host of the individual tables are just hosting their own table. But thank you, Mark.
Great.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. See you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.